Okay, what exactly is Wall Street telling us to expect from a post-pandemic economy? Right now, everybody's happy. Everything's booming. So I guess I always want to know how long this is going to last. So let's bring in discussion Rebecca Walser, President and CEO of Walser Wealth Management, Jason Trennert, CEO of Strategas Research, a Baird company. Jason, I read one of your morning missives. You're not as optimistic. Among other things, you think the dollar is going down, maybe quite a lot, and that might blow up the bubble. What else are you worried about? And why are you worried about the dollar? And maybe Wall Street's too euphoric.
Yeah, listen, I think, Larry, if you look at both the dollar, the DXY, and bond yields, they both peaked really in late March, around when the Biden administration introduced its plan for infrastructure and also its plans for taxes, which are not entirely related, but I guess they're somewhat related, but they're not completely related. And I think I'm quite worried that the market is starting to sniff out the potential of a policy error in 2022, because in my mind, first of all, I think the best stimulus would be to reopen the economy. After that, I think we've done plenty in terms of spending, and I think increasing taxes, particularly going back to a worldwide system from a territorial system, I think has a big impact on earnings, on S&P 500 operating earnings. So for all those reasons, I'm a little concerned that we're going to snatch defeat from the jaws of victory, which is to say, if you left everything alone and you had a modest or infrastructure package, I think the economy would boom. I'm just worried that we're going to overdo it in terms of tinkering.
Rebecca Walser, Joe Biden thinks we're not spending enough. So he's going to set a record for spending. I mean, literally, he's going to set a record for spending. He's already got $1.9 trillion, and he basically wants all in probably $3.5 trillion more. And he wants to raise taxes to so-called pay for it. But in fact, the tax hikes are unprecedented. They will be a record on corporations and cap gains. But Rebecca, Wall Street tells me, many, I read these guys, I talk to them, that more spending and more stimulus is great for stocks because they have more money to buy stocks. I've always felt that was a sophomoric argument, Rebecca, but I still hear it.
Well, we also do hear, Larry, and it's widely accepted, don't fight the Fed, as you know. But, this is getting really to an economic theory of MMT, modern monetary theory, that basically says you can spend indefinitely forever. And as long as you service the debt and can continue to service the debt, that it doesn't matter, that we won't have no capacity to repay the debt, the actual principal. And I think, Larry, that this can be disposed of. I completely disagree with it. And the reason is we saw at the first quarter of this year, we did see inflationary pressure. So if you can just spend however much you want for however long you want, then we wouldn't see an inflationary pressure that's already impacting the market like we saw this first quarter. So I'm sorry that this administration's wrong, but we're not going to be able to spend our way out of this into perpetuity. We have to have an organic economy with people working and people back to work.
Jason, if the DXY falls below 90, all right, and I don't know where it was today, it's right on the cusp, and it's dropped from 93 a few weeks ago. So if it drops below 90, Jace, is that a sell sign, a stock sell sign?
It could be. It certainly is not good for multiples. Generally speaking, there's not a good relationship between earnings multiples and the dollar. And a year ago, the DXY was 103. So the dollar's down about 13% just over the past year. You have a twin deficit now that's approaching 20% of GDP. So, it's hard to make a strong case for the dollar aside from the fact that it's not the euro or the yen or.
Real quick, kids. Jason, what's your favorite investment right now? Jason's lost. Rebecca, what's your favorite investment? Real quick.
I'm going to go with Bitcoin right now because
Bitcoin.
It's cheap.
All right. Bitcoin
just right now, Larry. Just right now.
Does that include Dogecoin or Dogecoin?
No.
Whoa.
Definitely not. No.
All right. You're on. Thank you, Rebecca Walser. Thank you, Jason Trennert, in the absence. Up next.